You tell this is our first time installing a Coyote engine into a Mustang?
Why aren't you going on? Oh, that's gross.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing, dude? This thing is definitely not gonna run.
It's definitely gonna run. Everything's plugged in.
We don't know where to yet.
You know what? Details, man. Look, it's gonna run.
Ah, dang.
All right, so on the last episode of the Mustang build, didn't go quite as planned. Couldn't even really crank the motor over. And this episode, we will get it started, and I have made sure that we will, because I got our friend David here who knows way more about electrical than I do and could probably get it done, actually probably just without me. David, it's all on you. I believe that it's a current issue.
Well done.
Yeah, right. But I believe that we might have, some grounding issues.
I've got my clips hooked up.
Okay.
We're looking for excessive voltage drop on the ground side.
Okay.
You don't want to see more than a few hundred millivolts. Hold on. Do it again.
Oh no.
So we have almost a volt of voltage drop. So we are looking for some block grounds, maybe a chassis ground.
I think we're missing like maybe a bigger ground.
Okay, so this is weird. The voltage drop is in here. You have two main grounds off the battery.
This ground wire, in order for it to be in the correct spot, needs to be up on this bolt.
We're down to 0.5.
Down to 0.5.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Now I'm starting to think it's a bad start.
Okay, well, while they focus on getting the engine running, I'm gonna focus on another area of the car that needs some help, which is the brakes. These brakes are massive. They're actually bigger than any brake that I own, including the big brake kit on my EK, the CTR, and even on my F-150. These measure 380 millimeters in diameter, which is bigger than some factory Honda wheels. It's absolutely amazing. And it looks like the previous owner has also gotten full use out of them because the pads are down to the wear bars and the rotors have some pretty deep grooves in them, not to mention they are also kind of rusted. So we're gonna replace these before we find out that we desperately need to have them. So these are the CarQuest Professional Platinum pads, and these will match the original friction type that came in the car. So in my case, because I have the performance package, it's actually a semi-metallic brake pad, which is a more aggressive pad. If my car came with ceramic pads, then these would be ceramic. And they also come with, obviously, the brake hardware and the grease to put it all together. So that's nice that it's all in one package. Semi-metallic pads are more aggressive than ceramic pads, and they can generally create a little bit more noise, which is why these have this 4-layer hex shim, and that helps cut down on the noise. And they also have these little gray strips right here. That's actually for helping with the burnishing process to get the brakes to bed in faster. So these rotors are painted so they're not going to rust out, and they also meet or exceed the original vane size, metallurgy, and casting thickness. Can we get a shout out in the comments for Advanced Auto Parts for coming back on board to sponsor just this one episode? Coming in clutch or brake. I know it's kind of hard to tell scale in videos, so there you go. Don't worry, I got you. Whoa, that one's pretty low.
Ooh, she hot.
Wait, what's hot? Ouch.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Let's pull the starter.
That's really hot. What you seeing?
I wanted to check to make sure all the segments in the starter were intact, but it's holding consistently. It has the voltage it needs to make the amperage, but it's not.
Maybe there's just like another test that we can try and do to rule out the starter, or take it to like advanced and see if
They can, I mean, yes, they can bench test it.
See, it's passing as far as that, but it should have way more torque than that.
So this is a new starter. Let's see how much better it does compared to the old one. That sounds a whole lot more healthier than the last one.
Ew,
Ew to what?
that crank. Can you do that again for me, Mark? I don't know, maybe it's fine. Only one way to find out. Stick the plug.
Fire in a hole.
Fire in a hole.
Getting nervous.
A little bit. All right, let's get it. Okay, I'm starting to think it's bad gas.
Give it some fresh gas.
Wish how nicer those look, yeah? Look at that. Oh gosh, this wheel's bigger. It's a 305 back here. I was like, hold on, that didn't feel like the front. Oh, it's a twist style. We have a caliper compression tool, Mark. Might have to run to Advance and get that free rental brake caliper compression tool.
We need to hurry up and get this thing started.
This reminds me of back in college.
I don't think it had bad gas in it.
What?
I think it was just sucking air.
Yeah, I don't think it had gas in it.
So we've got fuel coming out of the top of the fuel tank here, but if you can see, my hand just wiggled the lock ring on the fuel tank loose.
The timing's definitely off.
There's no way it could be off.
I don't know, scope capture seems to say it might be off a little.
Nothing hits. We checked it. Like, we manually moved the engine, saw when the piston was coming up, say from the bottom, you know, the valves opening the way they needed to.
That's popping out the intake.
How could it be out of time? We double checked.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't have an answer for that.
Ready?
Yep.
Take 393,420. Starting. Camshaft position sensor, bank 2 intake status, fail. All right, I need to fess up. We've been doing a bunch of tests, and obviously we found a bunch of other problems with the car. And it seems like bank 2 is out of time. We were very meticulous when it came to making sure that the timing was correct. And I think it was because we were over meticulous, we kind of missed a step. I believe the cam on bank 2 is 180 degrees out from where it's supposed to be. So unfortunately, that means I have to take all this apart and retime it again. We had some sensors let us know that, hey, look, bank 2 is not in time. They would clear, come back, clear. Obviously, it's backfiring like crazy, so that would also indicate a timing issue. I hate myself right now because this is going to be a lot of work. Hope you enjoy the next, hopefully 20 seconds, but 20 hours for me. Here's where I messed up, right? Here's where I messed up. When you go and time these things, all right, they're not very clear. Right now, the keyway is at the 12 o'clock position. When you time in bank 2, you want it at the 5 o'clock position.
Right.
I went from 5 o'clock to 12 o'clock. What I didn't do was rotate another 360 degrees. Essentially,
The scope was right.
the scope was right. The cams were essentially 180 degrees out. All right, so
Let's time an engine.
yeah, let's time the other half of this engine.
Quick commercial break while Mark finishes reassembling the engine to let you know that we have new merch available, and this time it's Ford merch. I know you Ford guys love a good t-shirt, and this one is in Ford colors. We got like a dark navy blue, which is nice because I feel like car guys always have just like black t-shirts filling out their closets, so it's nice to kind of mix it up. We're calling this Project Pony, or PP for short. We've got my Mustang up here on the lift with all of its parts laid out underneath it to let you know and remind everybody else around you that there's a project car back at home that needs to get finished. Also, we've got what Ford actually stands for down here at the bottom. Head on over to our shop at oildrip.shop, and there you can find some of our other shirts, like this diagram of Ben's MR2 roll cage that he's gonna make full use of. Honestly, one of my favorite designs that we've ever done. We've also got this sweet Tail of the Dragon shirt celebrating our journey through the road with our 2 Hondas on our last road trip. We also have the staple signature t-shirt on there as well.
We're about to start up the Mustang after I retimed it in the correct position that it needed to be in, which I'm shocked at well, you guys, because you usually catch everything, and y'all didn't even catch the fact that I timed it wrong. What are we paying you for? Jeez. All right, so we're gonna start this thing up, and it's gonna run just fine. And Ben is a pessimist, and he thinks that the motor's gonna blow up. A couple of warning lights, you know, no big deal. Yeah, it's a vacuum related. All right, turn it off.
And that is what she should sound like.
You right.
That's awesome.
And it was all because I messed up on timing. I'm seriously like surprised. It sounds so good. Okay, so obviously we got the engine running. Don't know if it drives yet, but before we can even figure out if it drives, we need to go ahead and put some of these body panels on because some of them are missing. And well, we got this fender here, and the whole reason on why this fender is not even on the car is because it's got like very, very like minor damage right around here. And there's like a nice footprint on the back here. Somebody stepped on it. Was not me. Possibly was Ben. Not sure. I want to blame him anyway. But we need to go ahead and put this on. But in order for us to put this on, we need to make sure that it stays far away from the door as possible. Then we still got the hood, front bumper, like kind of all the things that makes a car a car. And then we go out for our first drive. I'm sure Ben's looking forward to this. Oh, look at the blue. The last big step is put this front bumper on. And I'm kind of dreading it because this bumper does not have any side clips. These side pieces break off. It's screwed in, and maybe people just don't realize it's screwed in. And when they try and pull it away from the body, it just rips this whole piece off. That means we need to put something in place so that it holds it.
Now, one solution to fixing this is actually 3D printing a thicker plastic piece here that will go into that clip, but we're gonna use the quick releases. I know it might look a little bit more tacky from the outside. I did at least get blue, so hopefully that blends in a little bit, but never really had quick releases on a car, and Ben's had some on his Evo for a long time. Kind of just wanna see what that's all about. If I, don't like it, then I can always just change the bumper out to like a GT350 bumper or a GT500 bumper or something down the road. So, I mean, this is just a base model GT bumper. So, figure if we're gonna do it to anything, we might as well do it to the OEM bumper that's broken anyway.
We're getting close to the first drive, and we are checking tire pressure. Soon enough, we'll be out. Well, I won't be. I'll be following, in my car, because, I know who built this thing, so I'm not riding along with them. Cam, you're gonna have to ride along with them. And then, of course, the viewers, you're gonna ride along with them.
Here we go. Where's the? Oh, it's a start button, right? Here we go.
Now that sounds like America.
Smoother than a frog's hair.
And that looks like America right there.
Daggone! Woo-wee!
All right, calm down, calm down.
Oh, man!
Hey, you ready to go for a spin?
Yee yee! Well, I tell you what, this sucker feels like it's got a lot of power underneath it, like a lot of power, but it also does feel pretty heavy. I can feel the weight underneath me, but with more weight comes more power, and I feel like I just have more responsibility, you know what I mean? I got more to take care of. I got more weight, and I got more horsepower. I already killed a squirrel, so we've already got our first kill out of the way. I tell you what though, the transmission is chunkier than my Uncle Jerry. I tell you what, you go into each one of these gears and it's just boom. I feel like I'm gonna break something each time I go into the gear. Not what I'm looking for. Might have to swap that out for a Tremec, but it's probably gonna break. It's gonna break pretty quick, I'd imagine. But we do have to keep it under control. I'm keeping it under about 3,000 RPM because this here motor's gotta get broken in. Now, that might be a controversial statement. Some people say you should just dog it right out the garage, but I'm gonna try to break it in because I think that's a better method. Tell you what, this thing's a dream to drive. I'm out here on the back roads, literally right here on the back roads out here. Back country roads, take me home, mountain mama. I do feel stuff underneath the car a lot. I feel like I keep running over stuff. Cam, do you feel anything underneath? Have I hit anything?
Not that I've seen. This is horrible.
I feel like I'm so far up off the ground that I wouldn't even know if I hit something, to be honest. I totally understand why these tend to magnify towards crowds. Well, that's gonna do it for this here episode. I hope you're subscribed, because if you want to see this thing really ripping it, you're gonna have to wait until the next one. We gotta put a couple 100 miles on this bad boy before we can really let her eat. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, comment below, and we'll see you on the next one. Yeet yeet.